Hi, I'm TV20's Dan Monroe. On September 7th, 2022, comedian, actor, writer, producer, and Cleveland native David A. Arnold passed away at the age of 54. David was a close friend to all of us at TV20 Cleveland, and he was a cousin to our general manager, Kathy Allen. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife, children, and family during this difficult time. A couple years ago, David came home to Cleveland to tape his first of 2 Netflix specials. I followed David as he visited his old neighborhood and his favorite spots around the city. Please enjoy as TV20 Cleveland proudly presents David A. Arnold, Cleveland Strong.
I love him. He was so funny.
Oh, he's hilarious. He's hilarious.
Good luck, David. Keep it going. Keep representing Cleveland. We love you.
He that knew how to stink in the country.
That's
y'all,
right.
Rest of the world, get hip to David Arnold.
That's
I'm
right.
telling y'all.
Yo, Cleveland! Welcome to the stage, David A. Arnold!
I'm here with TV20 right now. We're doing a piece, and we letting people know I'm from Cleveland.
Right.
I'm Cleveland strong.
Hello and thank you for watching TV20. We are Cleveland. I'm Dan Monroe. I'm going to introduce you to someone, the gentleman to my left. He's a big-time writer in Hollywood. Yeah, that's you. Big-time writer in Hollywood. Wrote for House of Pain, Meet the Browns, Fuller House on Netflix, my kid's favorite show. but besides all that, he's a Cleveland boy, born and bred here in Cleveland. Mr. David A. Arnold. Thank you, David.
How are you?
It's so much fun going out with you.
Oh, we had a good time, right?
Good time.
You never get to see this. You know what's great is you never get to see, I never have gotten a chance to see the city the way you guys showed it to me today from the different angles, and it makes you immediately go, wow. I remember why I love to see, like every time I come home when I fly in from LA and I'm coming over to the lake and I can see, you can just see everything. It's like, now I know why I love coming back home to visit.
How long has it been?
I left Cleveland like 20 years ago. Yeah, I moved out, but I come home at least twice a year. I come home to see my family because all my family's here, and then I also come home to go watch, the Browns play football. So I'm always back. But yeah, this is a dope.
Well, when you flew in last night, when the plane flies right over downtown Cleveland, you're looking out the window. What do you feel? What are you thinking of?
You know what? Even every time I'm flying home and I come in over the city, I always think to myself, no matter how long I've been gone, immediately I'm home. There's something that's always still home for being in Cleveland. You know what I mean? It's like no matter, my kids, have been here a couple of times. LA is their home because they grew up there. It's a comfort thing. It's like going back to your mom's house and her putting that food in front of you that nobody can make, like even your wife can't make it like she tried. Your wife tries to make it like your mother and you lie to her and tell her that it is, but it's not. Like going home to Cleveland is just like that. It's like coming back to what you know, and I think it's fantastic to be here. Cleveland, Ohio is a city that's on the rise. Why? Not just because we won an NBA championship here, not just because we survived, but because of places like the Flats, the Warehouse. People are coming in here droves to see what Cleveland is about. You might come here for one reason, but you leave loving Cleveland for another. This is a perfect metaphor. You see the new bridge over the old train tracks? That's what's happening in Cleveland. The new is running over the old. It's constantly rejuvenating itself. It's constantly growing. And that's what Cleveland is doing. Cleveland knows how to reinvent itself. Cleveland knows how to stay strong. That's what this is. That's Cleveland strong. This is what I grew up as a kid. I've left 20 years, I came back. There's a new bridge. It's a bridge to a new place. That's what Cleveland is. Cleveland is on the rise for so many reasons. People are buying property. People are starting up businesses. Cleveland is the city that everybody wants to know why they're talking about Cleveland. What's going on? They drop these everywhere for a reason. Because on the backdrop of all of these is a city that is on the rise. So if you're ever looking at it, you go, what is this? This is Cleveland, Ohio. And that's why I came back here to shoot my stand-up special. Because being a talent on the rise, where else better to do it than a city that's also on the rise? It's my hometown. It's Cleveland, Ohio. This is Cleveland strong. This is Cleveland, Ohio. I am David Arnold. I and Cleveland together, we're on the rise.
Everyone has your eyes on Cleveland. Since the Cavs won, since the RNC, their eyes have been focused on Cleveland. What do you think of that?
I think it's about time. Yeah. I think it's about time. You know, especially a place they called the mistake by the lake. So I think it's about time that we get some kind of just due. Because my friend came in, Naima, she's like, I've never been to Cleveland. You know, and like 5 times today, she was like, my God, this is so beautiful. You know, and you forget that it really is it's a beautiful city that has some spots. And we only got a chance to see like a small portion of everything they have, you know, West Side Market, you know, the flats, everything that Cleveland is coming. My brother-in-law owns, you know, several restaurants out here, you know, and he's doing great. And it's because this city is just on a rock. Like every time I talk to him, he's like, I'm opening another restaurant, Harvard Wine and Grill. Like he did just take 5. They just keep growing because the city is growing. Yeah. And people come here all the time.
And I think the residents see that, and they're taking that in. And everyone, especially me, who sees someone not from here, you want to immediately give them a list. I was talking to Naima. I go, you have to go here, here, here. Try this restaurant. Right. I have so much I want to show you. We don't have much time. Right. I'll be back. I think we're just a friendly people that we want to welcome new people in and show them what we have to offer.
That we actually have something to offer. I'm not gonna lie. The cold is for me.
All right, come in the summer.
Come in the summer. Come for the good weather. It's just 2 weeks a year. No, I'm kidding. Like I love the summertime. The cold is hard for me. I brought my kids here for Christmas so they can see their first snow. Because they're LA babies. So they don't get to see Christmas like you see Christmas here. So this is real Christmas. You know, so like all of that kind of stuff, those are the things that, you know, you miss when you go away and you come back and you go, wow, this is what Christmas should look like. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fantastic, man. I'm very excited about being here. I'm very excited about doing that.
You know, take us back to your childhood. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Cleveland near 93rd and Kinsman, and then we later moved to Shaker, and then Beechwood is where I eventually graduated from high school. I graduated from high school in Beechwood High School.
What was your childhood like out here?
My childhood, you know what? It was not typical because I grew up with like 3 very influential father figures: my stepfather, my dad, and my grandfather. So, and they were also different because my stepfather, who is now inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right down here, he was one of the original members of the OJs. So he actually started a group. So I grew up with somebody in entertainment, and I grew up with my dad, who was an engineer, who was very, 9 to 5 focused, do what you're supposed to do. And then my grandfather, who owned an asphalt company out here, I was pulled in so many different directions that it was not really normal, but it was my normal. So now that's why I realize how I fit in this world of entertainment, the way I do stuff. It's not normal to a lot of people, but it's 100% normal to me.
Were you the class clown? Were you always cracking jokes? When did you find out you had this gift of gab, so to say?
I was not, you know what? I think I was always being myself. I was never the class clown. I admired guys who could actually turn it on like that. I never could do that. I found myself being funny naturally. I was just being David. And I didn't know that it struck everybody so funny until I got older and I popped up on all these stand-up shows. And when Facebook and social media showed up, we could all get in touch with each other. And that's when I heard what people thought. And I was like, really? I don't remember being funny. My mother said I was funny, but I just remember being me. So,
we stopped at a couple places today. We had a lot of fun, but one place we stopped at really struck a chord with you in your heart, and that was a place over on Manor.
It's so funny that it's only proper to not forget where you came from. This street, if you go and you look, this is Manor Avenue. It's the name of my entertainment company is called Manor House Entertainment. And I named it because this is the street that I grew up on. And what is symbolic about this today for me is everything here is all gone. My house used to be back here. The apartment building that my grandfather owned used to be right here. This is the field where I learned to play football, where I played every sport you can imagine. I learned to ride mini bikes and mopeds up and down this street. My grandfather moved in here and he had an asphalt company called Wooding Asphalt. And it started off very small. And when he moved here, he had just one house. And when he left, he owned everything on this street. And by the time we left, Grandpa owned everything on the street. All of it is gone now. And the only thing left on this street is his house. Like, this is literally the house that this is where I learned my character from. This is where I got my work ethic from. This is where I didn't lose myself at. Even though I work in a business that is make pretend and believe. And it's a town where, Hollywood is a town where nobody tells you the truth. And so when you come from here in Cleveland and you find a place like this, you hold on to that because that means something to you. And that is what keeps me going. So when I come back to Cleveland, Ohio, and I come back to 9106 Manor Avenue, and I think about Joshua Wooding and David Wooding and Barbara and Pat and Joyce and all my family that grew up here and what my grandfather gave us, just like this house, I'm still standing. It's still standing. This city, for me, still stands. Because I can find amongst what seems to be ruins, it's something that's pretty dope and it's pretty strong. This is a part of my history. This is a part of my history. This is a part of who I am. This is a part that I will take with me when I go on stage tomorrow night. Because the only thing you've ever wanted to do was to leave someplace and come back and know that you did good. I've done good. My grandfather would be proud. I know that. When I went to Manor Avenue, like I think I told you there, that place, I remember being populated with houses and apartment buildings. And when my grandfather moved there when I was a kid, you know, he had the house and then he eventually owned everything on the street. And now to go back there some 30 years later, the only house to standing is his. And I thought that's so symbolic for me and all the stuff that I've been through in my life and being in this, having staying power in this business, trying to find a way to, you know, I remember when I moved to Los Angeles, I had 2 trash bags of clothes and 3 addresses to comedy clubs. That's it. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any contacts. I didn't have any leads. I didn't have any of that, you know. All I had was the desire to be successful. And that desire came from Manor Avenue. So when you get a chance to go back and when I get a chance to go back and I get a chance to see where I came from and, you know, what was instilled in me, it's like coming here kind of like refills your tank to be able to go back and continue in this business and do what I do, which is not easy at all, you know.
You know, and a lot of what we talked about today is being Cleveland strong.
Yes.
And I think that's something you get, especially from your friends and family.
Yes.
Here in Cleveland, it's a way that you present yourself to other people. People
Yes.
don't understand how Clevelanders are.
Right.
That
Exactly.
Cleveland strong is part of that. It's your heart and soul, I think.
Yeah. When you come from a place that, you know, like when I met my wife, immediately we took to each other, and it's because she's from the Midwest, you know, which I didn't, you know, of course you don't know in the beginning, but there's a certain realness that I feel like I have, a certain genuineness that I feel like I've held on to in a business and in a town that is full of fakeness in every aspect of the word, you know what I mean? And in some ways it's hurt me, because I'm not very good at wearing that mask all the time. And, you know it's because I grew up here in Cleveland, you know, and I'm not going to trade who I am for certain things, you know what I'm saying? So I'm okay with certain missing out on certain things. But that Cleveland strong is the ability for us to get up and keep reinventing ourselves, to keep going, to keep, you know, LeBron just left, everybody's upset, but a time will come again. You know, Cleveland is, you know, the Browns have won 3 games this season. Everybody, you would think we're on our way to the Super Bowl. Let me tell you about my memories growing up as a Browns fan. First of all, it's a religion. Being a Cleveland Browns fan is in my DNA. These colors behind me have destroyed my heart at times, but I stay with it. If you cut me, I bleed orange. I've been a Browns fan. Brian Sipe, Reggie Rucker, that's who I grew up with. Those are the people that instill grit in me. I remember when Brian Sipe threw an interception to Davis against the Raiders, and we got put out of the playoffs. I was about 10. I cried for 6 weeks. My wife left me twice. I ain't cried that much. Then I've cried. They broke my heart. They broke my heart more than my wife. When they left and went to Baltimore, I was in a depression. Everybody in this city lost weight. Nobody. Everybody big again now. Look around, everybody big. Because we got Mayfield now. We got hope again. The Browns bring you hope. This is the thing about being from Cleveland. Quit ain't in us. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in a business, as a stand-up comedian and a television writer, I'm in a business where they will try to make you think you can't do it. But when you come from here, when you come from Cleveland, quit ain't in you when you come from Cleveland. And that's why when I decided to shoot my stand-up special, they asked me where I wanted to shoot it. And I said, there's no place to shoot my stand-up special but home in Cleveland, because I refuse to quit. And I learned how not to quit. Reggie Rucker, Mike Pruitt, Ernest Biter. I know you fumbled twice and ruined my dreams. I forgive you. I want you to know, I forgive you. We keep pushing. And I got all that from the Cleveland Browns. One of my friends who I wrote on Fuller House with, first day of writing, I had a Cleveland shirt on. He had a Browns hat on. And we were like...
Kindred spirits right there.
Exactly. Immediately, we became friends because we know nobody wears anything from Cleveland unless you're from Cleveland, you know, especially in LA. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that connection, that kind of thing is, you know, you hold on to that. That's something that's special to me. So to get a chance to go back and see where I came from and hit spots in this city that remind me how beautiful this city is and how much it's on a rise, you know, you don't get that anywhere else.
You know, one thing when I think about Cleveland Strong is being able to take risks and being able to chase your dream. Now, I imagine, you said you went to LA with trash bags. I had you with a suitcase, but right. Trash bags is better.
Yes.
And I imagine you also had a notebook full of material and a dream. That's yes. A big risk to leave what's comfortable and head out to what you don't know, the unknown, and make something of yourself.
That's exactly it. I had been doing stand-up for maybe a year, so I had about 10 minutes worth of material, an idea and a dream, like literally. And I didn't even have a car, and I caught the bus to the comedy clubs to just find out when I could get on stage. And you know, with the support of, you know, my family back here from home, you know, you keep pushing. Like, you know, I would always say to my grandfather, you know, what my grandfather would do, what he would say. And he was like, you get back what you put out. And I put out a lot of work. You know, I've had some great successes, and I've had some hard not so successes. But through it all, I really honestly believe, because of where I come from, there's no quit in me. Because I feel like that about the city. Like the people, there's no quit. Like today I was struggling to be out in the cold a couple times. Like in the middle of us out there filming, I'm like, I don't miss this. This the part I could, if I had one note about Cleveland is do better with the cold. That, like, listen, but you know what? When I come to watch the Browns, I have access to suites, but I always watch it in the stands.
Outside of the stands.
It's better in the, you know, it's just some stuff is better. So yeah, man, it is a risk. It's a risk to come out and do something that nobody thinks that you can do. It's a risk to step away from what's comfortable and go, I have to follow my heart. I have to follow my passion. And to be able to come back here and film my stand-up special in front of people who, I'm sure there's some people who didn't believe, and I'm sure there's some people who always believe. But at the end of the night, tomorrow, they'll all be believers. You know what I mean? So like that's the biggest thing for me. But I mean, I'm telling you, anybody, I encourage anybody who, if it's something that's in your heart and it's calling you to do it, you have to go and step out and do that for yourself. You cannot live through the eyes of your family or your parents or your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband. You have to live your passion. You have to step into your purpose. You cannot be afraid to step into your purpose. A lot of people don't have the courage to step into their purpose, to step into their destiny. And just because you do that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. I also teach a stand-up comedy class. It's one of the largest stand-up comedy classes in the country. I can't tell you whether you're funny. I can't make you funny. But what I can do is tell you if you have the tools and what it takes to be able to be on that road to do what it is. But I tell people this all the time, no matter what you want to do, whether you want to be a broadcaster, whether you want to be a comedian, a television writer, you know, it doesn't matter. It's going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard, because if it wasn't, if everything was easy, we would all be sitting on top of the hill and there would be nobody, you know what I'm saying?
True, very true.
It's supposed to be hard. And obstacles, I tell all the people that I work with that want to pursue this, I go, obstacles are coming. And the obstacles are put in your way for one reason, and it's to weed out the weak. That's what it's for. You know, and so every time I hit an obstacle, I found a way to get up and go around it and keep pushing. You know, last year, 2 years ago was a very hard year for me, because I had, you know, I had a television show that was coming on the air, and then they canceled it before I even got on. That hurt me bad. And I did not know, like, I've never thought about quitting. Like, quitting has never been a part of it. What it is like, okay, these people said no, so now what do I do? So I reinvented myself. So I got on social media and I started building a following. I just kept working. I know so many people who have come from Cleveland to go do what we do. Steve Harvey, Arsenio Hall, Kim Whitley, all of these people, we came from here. And therefore, we are inspired and we're driven to do things that most people don't think is normal. But all of this is normal to me. Like, it would be abnormal if the cameras and the people were not here. That would be the part. And when you come from a city and you come from a place like Cleveland, you can be inspired by the waves behind me. Look at this city. That's a strong city, man. And when you come from a strong city, your passion is strong, your desire to win, your desire to succeed is strong. And that's what I got. I got that desire and passion inside of me to succeed and win. And I got that from here. I could sit here and I could write. And I can make jokes. I can do anything, because I feel like I can see my whole childhood almost behind me. You know what I mean? I'm back home. I'm in Cleveland, and being in Cleveland to film my stand-up special is one of the most inspiring things. And I'm driven, and I cannot wait for them to see how I've represented it over the last 20 years. That's the part. Some of you don't know me, but I've always known you. And now we're gonna get to know each other. It's gonna be dope.
You know, I want to tell everyone watching that if you're not too familiar with what David brings to the table, he's huge on social media. You have to check out his Instagram, the David A. Arnold. I was looking at that the other day, just rolling. Your observational humor is just top.
Oh, thank you.
Just top notch.
Thank you very much. I mean, I do a lot of stuff about because I'm married, my wife and kids and 2 daughters. So I ground a lot of my stuff in my family. My kids and my daughters do a lot of the videos with me, and they're having a ball. So, and then people just relate to it. Like, I stay in that lane, you know, between that and Facebook, the surge that has happened in just 90 days caught me off guard. You know, my assistant, she's like, well, I've been telling you, because she's been telling me for years. I've been telling you to do, you know. And now I'm like, you're right. She's 100% right. There's people who enjoy it, and I enjoy doing it for them.
See, that shocked me, because I looked at your Instagram and I said, oh, he's been doing this for a long time. And I come to find out it's only been months, right?
Yes, I've been posting, and you can go back and find old videos that I posted, but I deliberately made a choice to build an audience on July 5th. I said, I'm going to start making this a thing that I do so I can connect with my audience, so they can hear me. So people who have not met me and who have only known me through the television shows that I've written, I want them to know where this voice comes from. And I started, and in those 90 days, I mean, Facebook, I'm over 250,000 followers already, and it's, you know, we're well close to, you know, on our way to 75, which is not a lot for a lot of people. A lot of people, 10, 20 million followers, but that's my goal. You know what I mean? My goal is to get there one at a time, and it's been kind of quick. I didn't know, you know, that it would move this quickly, but it is. It's dope.
David, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
You know, you live in LA, but your heart's still in Cleveland.
It's always going to be in Cleveland.
Strong.
Cleveland strong,
Cleveland
baby.
strong. All right.